what is going on? And then it explodes. I'm like, what is happening next to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only watched, I think, 3 episodes of The Boys.
It's a lot.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne, and our special guest,
Me! TheKathyFeed!
Where can people on the internet find you?
Everywhere at TheKathyFeed, TheKathyFeed.
I thought you were just going to say work.
Yeah, you can find me at work. That's valid.
Yes, for people who don't know, if you want to be jealous of food that you can't have, you can follow her Instagram and you'll just be, well, this is just rude.
It's been a while since I posted some delicious food, though. Now it's just, here is photo.
Yeah, now it's cats.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I do post my cats very often.
So yeah.
Do you have anything specific you'd like to plug?
This light bulb.
Follow Food Beast on every channel as well. That's where I work. We're a food media company.
Are you still clocked in? Are you still clocked into work? You said you were.
No one has a gun to my head right now.
Hey, you get out of here!
Can I go now, guys?
No, we still have you for I don't know how much time. But yeah, it's I still remember when I first met Kathy, which was on Mixer actually, and I think you were editing food pictures, and I had no clue what you were doing, and so I just started a conversation, and then from there that went on to a bunch of other chaotic things.
Yeah.
So,
How long?
but
We've known each other for a long time now. Like 4 years? Maybe 5?
I think so.
Maybe
I'm
5.
trying to remember.
I started streaming 2018. And then,
remember.
like, right after we met, Mixer closed down. Rest in peace.
Yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things where I know a lot of people, because I still interact with a lot of people who were from Mixer, and they're just like, I wish Mixer was back. And it's like, dude, Mixer didn't make the communities. It's just if you lost those communities, it's because you didn't put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were pockets of things I missed about Mixer. Like Mixer, I think did a better job with like encouraging streamers to stream together. Because like Twitch keeps saying, oh yeah, we're gonna have like that system, and they never put it in, and
They did. Now they're getting rid
of it because they're doing another system.
Well, that'll do it.
But you know, they don't have a competitor, so why are they gonna try to do it?
True.
Yeah.
YouTube streaming?
But I don't think they offer, like, remember Mixer, you said you could watch 4 people at once.
Oh,
I don't think anybody else offers that, so.
I remember, this is not a Mixer podcast, everybody. But I do remember it was right before, it was like the year I switched over to Mixer. I was at, well, another thing that doesn't exist anymore, PAX South. There's all these Mixer partners that were given a panel, and it was very much pretty much like baby's first stream. How do I start? What do I do? Here's some tips. And everyone in that group has been streaming for 2+ years, and we're just like, okay, this wasn't so much what is Mixer, but I was sitting there and I was talking about it, and everyone was kind of joking around, and I remember mentioning to them, no, you want Mixer to be the best product ever, because that's just going to make Twitch better. And it's even though I don't agree with maybe some of the people running some of the other things, some of how they act or their mindset about certain things, but I'm like, no, some of these other options like Kick and what's the other one that I see people Rumble, I think, is starting. I don't even know what the heck Rumble is, but I know that's something that's starting up, and pretty much all these live streaming and YouTube, It's like, I hope they do get better, because that's just gonna make
Oh yeah, the Facebook
Twitch.
gaming.
Oh yeah, Facebook gaming.
Oh, wait, didn't that one close down?
I don't remember. I just know that Disguised
It was
Toast
a
was part
thing.
of it, and then he left.
Yeah, because Gina Darling ended with Facebook Gaming and then went back to Twitch. So I think she got released from her contract. Not gossiping. I love Gina Darling. She's my angel.
Is that the person who was on G4 for a little bit?
Yeah.
I think I only see her tweets because you talk with each other.
Because I'm obsessed with her. She's the coolest person on the planet. Huge fan.
Yeah. And then, what was it? This just randomly popped in my head because I think I remember her saying, like, I stopped in this store, this restaurant. And then it was the next comment was yours, like, I worked there and I called out sick and you were there.
I was so sad. It was my last day working at that restaurant, and I was like, I could go in, but I don't need the money because I have a new big girl job now. So I'll just call off. They'll take care of it. And then Gina Darling came in and sat in my section. I'm super calm about it though. Super chill. I mean, I'm pretty sure if like I met her in person, I would literally turn into this. So I'm glad that we haven't met yet.
Yeah, the moral of the story is just never leave your job and just stay there for the rest of your life, and then you might meet somebody
You look
famous.
up to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a better way of saying that. Yeah, someone that you look up to.
And then continue making minimum wage.
Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the important stuff, like
Yes.
movies.
And then Deepin, you have a fact for us, right? This is episode number.
Yeah,
Oh, where's
so
the chart? Where's
the
the
fun
chart?
thing that I like to do is tell everyone when we're actually recording this, because Kathy, I don't think we told you, this is our Easter episode. So we're just in the time of that is a widely celebrated other Christian holiday. It's Christmas in like 4 days, guys.
It's
or
all right.
9 days, whatever.
By the time of listening, he has risen.
Yeah, he was born and then shot up.
He's back.
That's not the right term.
We are so back.
I believe this is episode 12 in the series.
12, yes.
Halfway through.
I gotta scroll down. Hop found a A24 fact list, and so Kathy, I don't know if you know, but just a reminder for anybody, if this is their first episode, is that we chose 24 films from the A24 production company, and since it's 2024 when this will come out, not currently, we're like, let's do 24 A24 films for 2024.
And we have
that's
24
cute.
facts for the 24.
Yes. So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what we named this because I haven't started editing the series yet.
I just keep saying the number 24. To
Yeah,
confuse
just
Deepin.
24 to 20, 24, 24, 24. I think was one of the...
I put a 4 in the middle, yeah.
But the 12th fact is really funny because, this is... this is the next movie we have to watch about this fact. Yeah, and an A24 film, Moonlight, received 6 nominations at the 74th Golden Globe Awards and 8 nominations at the 89th Academy Awards. Wait. Oh, 8. Okay, I misread that. I was like, they got 89 Academy nominations? Including the win for Best Picture. I remember that because La La Land, they got the things mixed up and they said La La Land. And they're like, hold up, that ain't right. And so the director for La La Land came up, and he could tell there was
A mix-up.
a mix-up, and he did a very good job of saying, pretty much covering and just shifting the attention to the right people.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
La La Land was good too.
I've only seen La La Land at this point of recording. By the time this come out, I will have seen both.
Moonlight is also very good. Moonlight's very good.
So,
Just a lot of
But,
yearning.
yeah. So, but we're not talking about Moonlight. We're talking about Life After Beth.
Life After Beth.
Which may have been specifically chosen for Easter time.
Oh!
That's why you're giggling
now.
so hard about the risen joke.
Yeah.
That's so silly.
I don't know who set up the schedule. We'll have to have a talk with them.
There's no way you would know who that could possibly be.
I try not to.
Yeah, I think you set this up when I had COVID. And I was just like laying down and I had with like dying essentially. And you were like, I hope you don't mind. I set up the whole schedule. I was like, I am totally okay. I'm not going to change it. I don't have the energy.
Yeah. It was one of those things where we're like, maybe we'll record, maybe we won't. And then it was just Payne has an hour or 3 of free time. Well, I got to fill that with something. and it was work.
Oh, workaholic.
Yes. And now it's like
Project-aholic?
Yes, it's
Passion project-aholic.
Yeah. Well, now my brain is kind of short-circuiting a little bit because there's at this point it will probably be already out and going, but there's a huge charity thing that was asked to come part of, and there's a lot of work I have to do to get set up for that, and then I keep getting more information. It's like, this is way bigger than I thought when I first agreed to do this. It's a good thing, but I'm just like...
Yeah, whoa. I was there when you got introduced it, and it sounded like, it's just a thing. And you're like, I don't mind doing just a thing. And every time Payne and I meet separately, Payne's like, it's a lot of thing.
It's a bigger thing.
It's
huge. Well, actually, I found out something yesterday, and I'm like, and I was like, no, I'm not going to say that on a recorded thing.
Okay.
Let things get figured out and settled. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, we're talking about Life After Beth. And something I told Hop that is another fun fact, that this is, I think, the first anything I saw with Audrey Plaza.
Yeah, I think she's very fun.
I think, according to this one movie, she's fun.
She commits to every bit.
It's like, the only other thing I think I've seen her in was short clips when she's on that TV show where she's what's his face, Mario's wife, Star-Lord's wife. What's his name? Chris Pratt.
Oh, the voice actor.
Yeah,
the voice actor for Mario.
Yes.
Not the actor Mario.
Nope, he is Mario. That's him.
April. Yeah, she plays that character very well.
So, I don't know anything about that show either, except some dude likes meat, and I think Chris Pratt was dropped as a child or something. I don't know. I don't know anything about the show.
Valid.
But we're not, once again, something we're not talking about.
Yeah. So, are you ready for dice?
Yes.
I'm ready for dice.
Yeah.
Should I take another bathroom break before we go dice?
If you really have...
I've had a lot of liquids. I apologize.
It's all
just
good.
Remember, Payne's not editing. It's your choice.
I cut out when there's stuff like this has to happen. So.
Okay, fine. Maybe I'll just stop drinking water.
Do you want to clap here?
Okay.
No, if we just stop, I'll be able to know when. Yeah.
Should we clap when I come back?
Nah, it's as long as we don't stop the recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna mute. BRB.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No. Well, now I get to choose which dice I want.
I don't have my phone with me. What do I do with this time? My phone's charging in the other room because I was like, I'll be busy. I can let it charge. Well, with me hovering over the rabbit, I'm like, I'm going to do something like mindless and like play phone games while I can like check on her.
Mm-hmm.
So I needed to charge my phone.
Do something mindless. Watch Hereditary.
I did do that while I was working. I couldn't concentrate on work.
Yeah. Now
when it's like
this...
your third watch through, like I'm being quieter, so the waveform is less obvious.
Oh, I'll just go all Kathy's.
Okay. Watching it the third time, I could listen to it in the background and imagine a lot of the imagery. So like me checking on my rabbit, and then I hear ba-bump, mom. I'm like, oh, okay, I know what scene this is.
Yeah. There's a few things. There's one thing I didn't realize. Like, I've seen it, but it was the first time I registered what the one scene, and it's like it's not even that big of a scene. I was like, oh, but I don't know. It's just one of those movies. The cinematography of it, I just love it.
Yeah, I love the camera panning. The one thing, I mean, I'll talk about it again tomorrow, but the one of the scenes that I paused and realized I never really digested is the Charlie's stuff being at Joni's house.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, it's so quick. And I was like, wait, is that the bottle cap with the pigeon head? Oh.
Yeah. There's that, that stuff was there. And then,
what was your surprise scene that you forgot
It
about?
was the dad getting the email about the grave.
Oh, yeah. About it being desecrated.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That was probably a real fun time to come back.
Perfect timing.
I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to cut and have that be the sentence that we come back in on.
Okay, sure.
We were talking about Hereditary.
Oh, I'm glad that was not one of the options.
Hey, that you were our third choice, but our second choice claimed it.
Thanks. I don't think I would have said yes.
No, to be fair,
we have
no,
another horror movie that could have been an option.
Scary.
Talk to me.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I looked at it and I'm like, from what I know from Kathy, I'm just gonna give her these ones, and that unless I'm severely misjudging. Well, no, you said you were. Yeah, I think you talked to me was one of the episodes you were right. I could do this because I seen it already, and I was like, it's up to you. And you're like, Life After Beth. I think I told you to flip a coin, and then you didn't talk to me for a week because you were busy. and I was like, okay, we need to know what you want to watch. But hey, now we need to know what you're going to roll.
Oh, I haven't watched that. I've only watched Us.
There was another one on the list that you watched. I couldn't remember. But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Are we doing the rolly?
Yeah. Which dice for you today, Dpayne?
Oh, I picked up the Galaxy die. Unless you want me to grab one of the fancy, expensive dice.
It's so I can't make you do anything. You are your own person, Dpayne.
That's not what the government tells me now.
Bold of you to say that you are the one losing rights.
Stinking Discord messages. How dare you
He's
come
distracted.
up while we're making goofs. Okay.
Okay. Do we do it at the same time?
Yeah, we'll all roll at the same time, and then the highest will go. While we're rolling dice, just to let people know, we are going to roll dice. Yeah, this is the last cutoff for if you don't want to be spoiled for Life After Beth. Otherwise, well, if that's on you now. So it's gonna be free game to talk about whatever we want, and whoever rolls the highest will give a quick synopsis of what we just watched. So I rolled a 14.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about what this movie is. So, real briefly, the boyfriend finds out girlfriend is dead. He said. Finds out family hiding her alive. He happy.
Alive question mark.
Yes, alive question mark. They happy. Things get complicated. Extremely. Questionable reactions from world. I don't know why I said it like that, but jealousy happens.
Amongst
And
other
then
things.
and then brother with gun.
Is that your favorite character?
He made me laugh. But not. I don't know. I guess that's pretty much. Audrey Plaza comes back from the dead and makes life real confusing for her parents and boyfriend and
boyfriend's family.
And boyfriend's family. Well, they don't really believe him for the longest time, and then it seems that she may not be the only person that has come back. So there we go. That is the things. And now we go into the 30-minute super spoily timer as I turn my phone back on. So, all right. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, there we go. Timer has started. So I finally found out what was in the butter cookie tin. In the very beginning, this is when Beth's dad pulls out the pot.
Oh,
okay.
They say with sewing supplies. It's never cookies that's in there. That's
There's one time I went to someone's house and it was cookies, and I ate them all, and I said, "There you go. You have a new container for the house."
yeah, now I have a new sewing kit.
But yeah, this movie I thought had a really good premise in the beginning, and then it just happened. Like, I didn't know what I was supposed to take away from it other than haha zombie.
Yeah, it's because at first I'm like, well, what is the point of this? Like, because she's back from the dead. It is the most chill zombie apocalypse ever.
And I will say, you probably there's another movie I saw that's even chiller than this. Imagine Itisdpayne. You fall in love with a zombie and you can turn them human.
Is it that Twilight zombie
no,
movie?
No, it's like Warm Bodies.
I remember this. Aren't they in airplane hangar or something?
Yeah, it's very like Grinch coded, where it's like my heart grew, so I'm people again.
Isn't that a known medical condition?
Being born with an enlarged
Enlarging
heart?
of the heart?
No,
Yeah.
your heart expanding.
Oh. I mean, you would die, right?
Yeah,
Either way.
that is the joke I always hear around this time for the Grinch, because they're like, the Grinch heart and everything should have exploded if it grew 3 times or whatever.
And to be fair, he's not a human.
Yeah, we don't know their anatomy.
He's a
Yeah.
green.
But
He's a fuzzy.
Sorry, that reminds me, I saw a meme that was like, he wouldn't hate on you guys so much if you didn't sing about how much you hated him every 2 minutes.
True. Wait, you know what's so funny? This is my Slack icon. Wait, let me make sure that there's nothing. There's my last name
Work related.
Is it the one that was also your Twitter icon until people started asking you questions?
It was, but I changed it because I wanted to be in the holiday spirit.
Such a fun one.
Yeah. Wait, let me see. Oh, that's easier to see. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the only movie. Warm Bodies is the only one I'd say is more chill, because she literally is just like, if I love you hard enough, you just stop being a zombie, which is kind of what the main character of this wanted to do.
Yes, but I kind of feel like this is an analogy for relationships. You know, like when you break up with someone and then you're like, oh, but like the relationship isn't over, and so they come back, and then you're like, no, it's time to move on.
I guess I could kind of see that. I think I would have liked that analogy better if it wasn't for the last 5 or 10 minutes where they were just like, now it's an apocalypse. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, they kind of leaned into a zombie apocalypse, but like kind of randomly.
Yeah, because it felt like an interesting, I guess I think it would have been cool if it turned out something like was weird about the spider bite and she really did just like come back, and then their relationship couldn't work out because he realized, like, wait a second, that's why we broke up. Because there's hints throughout the movie where he's like, so you love me like the old me, like not before we broke up? And she's like, what do you mean we broke up? Why would I break up with you?
That?
Yeah. And he's like, perfect, I like this version. And then he realizes he doesn't actually like that version anymore.
Oh.
And then,
So they're trying to revive a relationship that's already dead, huh?
yeah, that's how I would read it. But then she started eating people, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think like the scene that bothered me the most actually was like Zach, right?
The
character?
main boy.
Yeah.
Yes, Zach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zach coming back to Beth's place, and then her dad's already dead. Like,
Yeah, there was no like resolution when he was such an important. Because even like they tried to play up his character too because of the sexual harassment of
Of the maid.
that was so
caretaker.
random. There's like no connection with anything else.
other than the main character being racist. Did you just show up here because she's from Haiti? Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh.
And the guy's like, we don't do voodoo. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's never like, because I don't know, in my mind I was like, oh, maybe she actually knows something, because if they mentioned it at any point earlier in the movie, I missed it, and then they're just like, yeah, pretty much what Hop just said, and it's just, oh. But then again, when did this movie come out? It was 2014, so that was okay for humor at that time.
It's a little late.
A little bit late.
A little bit late.
I don't.
'Cause, yeah, so
I'm
that-
not saying
'cause-
that it's okay, but in their minds they thought it was okay.
Yeah, because like Beth even uses like ableist and homophobic language at certain points. And then there was a scene that I thought they were gonna make a joke out of sexually assaulting a guy, and I was like, this isn't funny, I'm uncomfortable. Because remember, he climbs into her attic and she's like screaming at him, and he's like, you're hurting me. And I was like, I was not prepared for this. I thought this was a comedy. This isn't funny.
Yeah, and like it kind of feels sad at the part where like she like forgets, and I feel like they, even though it's a comedy, they could have played into it because the rest of it is so slapstick. But she was just like, whatever.
Yeah, like I felt like for like the first half hour to an hour, I was like, oh, like you said, like it could be a really neat allegory for stuff, and then it went really like zombie, and I went, it's getting kind of lost.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be an interesting story of, yeah, if she was still, instead of going full zombie, if it was, they played more on the thing where she keeps forgetting stuff, because that's something that keeps happening, where she's getting confused to the part where it shows that she's insanely strong, like able to punch windows, rip a
Get run
lifeguard
over by cars.
post. Oh my goodness.
That was such a weird scene too. I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting there and I'm watching, like right before that, and it's just like, oh, surprise! What's up? What her face? The singy girl,
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she's in a lot more than what I thought she was in, which is just the singing movie. I don't, but yeah, it was just it just cracks. It was funny, like that. I think the humor, some of the humor was like still went well, and there's one of those things where I would agree with Mari, the dad, when he's like, okay, Zach, you gotta go, and this is just like when they go and he's freaking out because she has sunburn on her face, and they're just like, no, we're gonna just awkwardly make out in front of your parents. I'm like, what's going on here? It's like,
yeah, that was weird.
And
That was
and
really weird.
the dad and the mom are just
weirder?
like, come on, just get up.
Was
Okay.
it not weirder that they did it in a kid's park?
That's the other thing. I was like,
Sexual harassment, right there. They would have both gotten, what is it called?
Public
On the sex
indecency.
offender.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's around.
Registry.
It's underage. If one underage child witnessed it, yeah.
yeah, they have a
I
whole
felt
park
like the
full.
underage child in that moment. I was like, whoa, guys. All right.
Yeah, on sand.
Oh,
Yeah, Star Wars told me about that.
He loves sand.
But yeah, it's some of the things that I did find funny though was just when they reveal that Beth's still alive, and Zach is arguing with her parents, and her parents are like, settle down, saw this, and she's like, I gotta study for the test, you gotta study for the test. What test? Were we still together? Like that, I think it's the first scene where they're all arguing. I'm just like, Beth must be so confused right now, because she doesn't even remember they broke up.
Yeah, I was
And that's-
also I was also curious if they were gonna lean into that, like maybe she had some sort of like early onset Alzheimer's or like dementia because of how angry she started to get. Whenever, yeah, they were anytime they were like, no, this is actually what's happening. She would get completely irate, and I was like, oh, that'd be an interesting allegory. And they're like, it's just because zombie. I was like, okay.
So, but hey, as we learn, the power of smooth jazz will calm any beast.
Wait, okay, I was confused because like at one point, Beth gets in Zach's car when he's trying to like mew him away, and he's like, "You ate someone," but I don't remember watching her eat anyone. Was it in the movie? Because it doesn't even show her eating like her dad.
I think the only time she's eating somebody is that we see is on camera when it's just full zombie mode at that point. And then when she's tied to the oven.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was really dark. That was very dark.
Yeah, because
just randomly.
Well, she had to wear sunglasses, so it was really dark.
The scenes that I remember with the car is the main one I think of is when she was punching through the dashboard because he sang her the song and she's like, "This is stupid. This song is stupid," and then said much worse things. And then proceeded to set to fire the lifeguard shack, and I was like, they're just gonna walk away from a burning building?
It's next to the ocean, so zombie logic.
Let's see. What else did I write on my list things?
I really like this.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, go.
I really like the stove. I feel like that was like one of like the funniest scenes in the movie where she just stands up with the stove. And then, like, she's stuck in the doorway while he's talking to his brother. Like,
his brother's, look at her. He's like, no, she's fine. She's fine. She's got an oven tied to her. I did also like the part when he's like, you gotta shoot her, and she just falls backwards because the oven is too heavy.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna send Kathy the gift that I sent Hop when I was like, this is all I want to talk about, was this scene. I'll send it to Hop again as a reminder.
I wonder if, like, the blue dress is a callback to The Shining, but probably not. It's probably just, like, the aesthetic. Might also just be the GIF.
I don't know.
I don't remember. Good. I thought it was white in the movie, so it could be a weird color.
Yeah, because I don't think she ever changed her clothes. She ever changed her clothes.
No.
That was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, but she did recognize that Zach had her scarf.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, hey, that's my scarf. Yeah, with the brother.
At first I was like, I like the actor for the brother, and I was like, oh, they're kind of painting him to be an a-hole because he's obsessed with guns and is like a cop and whatnot. But then, like, as his brother was like, dude, I was like, oh, I like the brother. He's a ridiculous character.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna do with that scarf? Nothing.
It also reminded me when he's like, he finally comes home after it's full zombie apocalypse. His brother's just standing there towel with his gun, and he's like, "What? Grandpa's home? What do you mean?" And he's like, "Well, we're so sorry for not believing you." And he's like, oh, "I shot Grandpa," and he's like, "I bought this house."
I did think that whole bit was really funny, where you have like the grandpa, and he's like, I gotta go to the attic, and then they're like, who are these two old people? They're like, they're the previous homeowners. They're like, oh, it looks awful in here, I gotta go to the attic.
Yeah, and they're like, what's with the attic? They like attics. But the what's the one line? I don't remember if it's the grandpa or the original. I think it's the grandpa, and he's like, this is my house, I bought it for $28,000. And then the dad's like, when did you buy this? And I'm like, that's actually a really good question. When did you buy this house for $28,000?
Oh, $28,000 house sounds amazing.
Yeah, well, if you get a house like that around here, it's non-existent.
If you want a good joke, T-Pain, I was curious about the guy that plays the main character in this, the Zach character.
Mm-hmm.
I know you made a joke to me earlier. That actor is apparently in Oppenheimer.
So I forgot that I mentioned that. So Kathy, for context, for Kathy and anybody that wasn't part of that conversation besides me and Hop, because it was our personal DMs, which I had to scroll back to remember how that we got on there. But yeah, it was because we were just talking about like other forms of content we did, and it was just like, yeah, this is just good vibes talking about movies. Like, nope, that's it. I'm gonna compare Life After Beth with Oppenheimer tonight, just to be difficult. And I never watched Oppenheimer.
The thing that made me laugh is I sent T-Pain a screenshot of Beth making like a silly the face at the Anna Kendrick character, because yeah, there's the whole bit where Beth is like, I blame the woman thing. And then T-Pain sends me a gif from Oppenheimer and says, dude from Oppenheimer. I was like, do you mean Oppenheimer?
And I was like, nah, that's Jimmy. Nah, because I didn't read or look up anything for Oppenheimer, so I'm just like, I know this is the guy who's the face of it.
Yeah.
Completely forgetting all history for a little second, multiple seconds. But yeah, but no, for anyone that got very excited to hear Oppenheimer, actually, when this comes out, I really hope Oppenheimer is okay to joke about. I don't know anything about. It seems like movies that are like, yeah, good, and all of a sudden just one thing comes out. And that could come out in the next 4 months. Or
I never thought about that.
Yeah. So, but I think we're safe with Life After Beth, because this movie
years.
This movie. Oh my goodness! Hold on. When was the actual day this came out?
It appeared on Sundance January 19th, 2014, and was released in theaters August.
Okay. I was like, oh man, it'd be great if it came out around this time. Yeah.
The 10-year.
It is the 10-year anniversary. Not right now, but when this episode airs.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, but so yeah, I would like to say there's one character I felt bad for in this whole movie, and it's the mom of Beth, because all she does is scramble around, and everyone yells at her and tells her to leave. And then there's, like you said, the really dark scene by the oven where she's feeding her daughter her fingers.
Yeah. She's also the most chill person ever. She's just like, Zach's like, no, just lift your arm, like keep it above your heart. It's like,
you don't want to bleed out.
I'm gonna go for a walk. Yeah, you do that.
If you need me, I'll be in that room.
Yeah. just take Beth for a walk now. Yeah.
It does seem like she never mind. I was trying to hypothesize, because it seems like Beth could have gotten up at any point and attacked her mom, because she just stood up with the stove.
She wasn't that tied down.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wonder if it's her love for her mom, but then her dad. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Her dad wasn't that great of a person, as we learn more and more about him throughout the movie.
Oh yeah, the random sexual harassment thing of the maid was Also, did I miss the part where there was a maid?
She runs out in the very beginning.
In the very beginning.
Because they're packing up Beth's stuff, and she runs out going I'm done with this. I can't work here. And the mom's like, I don't know. I guess she's just tired. Yeah,
and it's at that point it's implied that it has to do with Beth. And then it's because it's oh, the maid knows Beth is there. And no, it's just the dad being a weirdo.
A little creep.
But more to play devil's advocate, not to protect the dad. Part of me wonders if that was just a ploy to be we need to get rid of the maid. I'm just gonna show her my bits and do that. That way she quits rather than fire him, because he didn't seem to be all together in his right mind.
She quit before she came back.
Did it? I thought.
Because he comes over to play chess.
Okay.
Until 3
Yeah, I couldn't remember the actual whenever it was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she quit the same day he came over for chess.
Yeah. I also don't know when. It's not very clear when Beth actually. Yeah, I guess it would have been after the chess game.
Yeah, because they say it's like.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because they also say like he hasn't gotten a call back from him in a week, so that's why he starts stalking their house. But I feel so bad for Zach's family because they're like, it's not healthy for you to like smoke weed with like the dad of your dead girlfriend. Like maybe you should do other things.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'm just gonna go see her. Actually, after all this.
That family had their own problems too, where it's just it didn't seem as if there was a lot of communication between all of them, and it was just, no, Zach's crazy. It's, to be fair, my girlfriend came back from the dead, and I'm gonna go hang out with her and her family is an insane story, but it was just I don't know, it didn't seem that there was a whole lot of compassion of, oh, your girlfriend's dead.
Yeah, that's valid. And like very recently too.
Yeah.
From an accident, and like from somewhere you weren't there to protect her.
Yeah,
because they got in a fight and she hiked and got bit by a snake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's what Wikipedia says.
Yeah, I just remember him doing like one monologue towards the end before he has to, say his final goodbye.
Yeah. Oh, that scene made me giggle so much though, because like after he shoots her and she like tumbles
body
down
parts.
Yeah, it's just like that was good.
The part that actually made me laugh more is the brother's like, you threw away my Desert Eagle? He's like, yeah, you told me you could have all these guns where you work now. He's like,
my deagle? Yeah.
Who's suspicious?
They're getting into an argument and they're just like, settle down. And then the TV turns it back on. It's like, yeah, everything's okay, guys. Just relax. And they're like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
Because the main character, Zach, was like, we have to run away to Machu Picchu. And they're like, what's Machu Picchu? Why would we go there?
I'm like, isn't Machu Picchu not even in America?
Yeah, it's definitely not.
No, I'm like,
I didn't even look it up. And I'm like, I hope I'm right to think that that's not in America.
Where is Machu Picchu?
Isn't, I don't know. I don't know if it's Peru. Okay, well,
I knew it was like very mountainous and like you had to climb it and stuff like that, but
well, okay, I guess technically they could get there.
It'd just be a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, do you think like Beth like being shot by Zach has anything to do? Because like as soon as he comes back is when like everything's fine again.
Yeah, I think they wanted us to believe that was like, like him trying to hold on to her and all that was causing everything. But it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just happened. There's no connection that's clear.
It really feels like they just wanted to tell a love story with a twist. And the twist is confusing.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, this will be a funny movie, and then it's like, okay.
Yeah, and also Aubrey Plaza's boyfriend wrote he directed it too. Wrote the screenplay.
Really?
Yeah, and like he wrote it, and then like he never considered her for it, and then I think Aubrey Plaza's agent was like, oh, why doesn't Aubrey do this? And then her boyfriend was like, you know what? That would be a great idea.
Oh yeah, they're married.
They got married?
Yeah, on Wikipedia it says he's known for his frequent collaborations with actresses Alison Brie and his wife Aubrey Plaza. I do want to watch Horse Girl, because that's like a psychological thriller, right?
I don't know.
Horse Girl.
Psychological drama.
Well, that's Netflix, and they don't have a number in their name, so we can't attribute it to a year. So, no. Complete side note, I've been thinking about getting Netflix just to watch a Yu Yu Hakusho live show. The live action.
You're getting influenced?
Yu Yu Hakusho is my favorite anime of all time, so it's just...
I'll give you my logins offline. You can just use mine.
Does that work now with
Oh,
You have to pay per household or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, I've had multiple people offer, and then Netflix really kiboshed it. So I'm probably just gonna see if they have a deal and just be like, okay, for the month, just so I can watch this, and then I'm gone. We'll see if I can actually finish it, because I have an amazing track record of finishing TV shows. Another thing that Hop and I were literally talking about today. We found out that I almost said Over the Garden Wall. Not that. What We Do in the Shadows TV show is they're doing their final season. Fun show. Funny show that also has to do with vampires. But it's funny.
There's no vampires in this, are there?
No.
Did I miss something?
All vampires are zombies, but not all zombies are vampires.
No.
They
No.
all eat people.
No.
Kathy, that's not a real thing. You don't have to think too deep about it. That's just me just making a goof. I look over to Zoom and it's just this is not the conversation I want to have after work.
No, but it does make sense.
Oh, I wasn't saying it to make sense, but
Because it's a non-human entity that used to be a human that now survives off of humans.
the government. Guys, this is the
all
last
I've heard-
episode of the
All
podcast.
I've heard recently is they filmed very explicit stuff somewhere in a Senate hearing room.
Hey, they're just hanging out.
Yeah, just hanging out.
What? Wait, I gotta look this up after the podcast. Because what? I am not caught up. This is the kind of political tea I want to hear.
Anyway, do we have any more comments about Life After Death before we get completely lost?
It's all good. Let's be fair. It was gonna happen eventually. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me scan the notes that I wrote. This was like a movie where stuff happened, but nothing really seemed to. I didn't write a ton of notes. Also, I did watch this last week, like hours before we were about to record. So I'm like, we'll be good.
Sorry, that's what I just did.
It's all
No,
good.
you're fine. But what I was gonna say, I guess when I think about the movie, I think it's a fine movie. Like if I just want to sit and just watch something and not have to think too hard. I think the thing that annoyed me most is I feel like a lot of the characters were there for the sake of the main characters. Which I might be biased because we also just like watched The Whale, where every side character has their own story, whereas this one they brought in Anna Kendrick and her only purpose is to make Beth angry and to kiss Zach later.
Yeah,
Like,
she doesn't have a personality.
Yeah, she's just like, our moms were friends. Like cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's reminds me of the ending of 500 Days of Summer, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt, whatever his character's name is like, oh, okay, I'm over summer, and then he meets someone and her name is Autumn, and that's like her only role is to be the next manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, at least that one they didn't give her like 20 minutes of airtime to say nothing. Like I like
True.
Anna Kendrick, but her character in this movie was just like, hee hee, you're cute.
I feel like this movie could have been a lot stronger if like they allowed for. Sorry, I'm being really loud and I forgot that Brandon's in class.
You can wake up your cat.
Like you know, like when he reaches over and he's like, "Your skin is so soft, and your breath doesn't stink." Like if they had allowed more of that descent into madness, so that he goes like insane by the end of the movie, that could have been a really good movie.
Watching them be both really toxic, but like so dependent on each other that you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is bad.
I
This
think
is bad.
I think if they went that route, it would have been more if Beth was the only zombie.
I have been complaining about the fact that it was an apocalypse this whole time, so I'm completely
Yeah.
fine without it being a full zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like I guess for that, like, because that's a shift from, because what Kathy was saying, that's more of I guess a storyline that would be connected with the thread of in there, because Zach constantly is bringing up all these things that Beth just does not remember. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you allow me to tag team my idea, if a story was where Beth just keeps forgetting everything that she knew beforehand, that would have been an interesting thing of Beth literally not being like, well, human or all this stuff, and just being this, well, like what she becomes originally in the end of the movie, as Zach moves on to Anna Kendrick, but it's a different movie at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
I also wonder if, like, the writer-director of this movie was like, oh, I could write a Shaun of the Dead, and then try to write a Shaun of the Dead.
If he wanted to write a Shaun of the Dead, we should have followed this whole movie, keep everything the same, but it was told from the brother's perspective.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been Hot Fuzz mixed with Shaun of the Dead.
I think I would have been game to see that movie, because especially like the beginning, he's like, he has to escort his brother out of the thing and the security thing, and he's just, come on.
That scene was so fun. Sorry.
That was a good. Like, it's weird. Like, this movie had a lot of good little random scenes, but it wasn't really like anything important to the plot that I remember as like scenes that I liked.
Yeah.
Is this one of his first? It's his second film.
That makes sense. It doesn't feel very cohesive. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish everything kind of fit together a little bit more. Yeah.
So, like, his first movie, I Heart Huckabees. I have no clue about this. This came out.
It says he was just the writer on that one.
Yes. Yeah. He was just the writer, and that came out 10 years earlier. And then it seems like he didn't. So technically, this might be his
first director.
It's his first director, and I don't know how many other people wrote on this movie. It seems like it's just him. So, me not having really any experience writing scripts and all that, it could just be him still learning the craft and all that stuff. Yeah. And it's just like, it's a movie and it came out and it's well received. Like, I don't want to take away, well, I don't actually, what's it? 5.6 on IMDb. That's about an average thing. So people liked it, people didn't like it. But I don't know. It's hard to make a movie. It's easy to criticize, but yeah. But it's no, it's for a first film and all that. It's
fine.
Things definitely did not age well, but there's a lot of movies that I think could also fit that.
Like fit that. Rush Hour.
I remember watching those so much as a kid, but yeah.
But
it's funny, yeah. It's kind of like also Strider was like, oh, this is like one of my favorite games from the 90s, and he's playing it, and they use the R word. He was like, oh god, you can't say that.
Was it Relative Quantum Theory?
Exactly.
I knew it.
Yeah. Where all the main characters, I think, are between the ages of 8 of 10. Like, you nailed it.
Got it.
That they're all just clones of young Sheldon.
I don't know the reference.
Oh, you know Big Bang Theory?
No.
It's like, how do you describe it, Hob?
So you know what the show Friends is, Dpayne. I know you know that.
Unfortunately, yes.
Think of that, but you get a bunch of like nerds together, and then they like make fun of each other for being nerds, even though they all have like PhDs or master's degrees. And then there's one girl who's not a nerd.
Poor her.
Oh, have you heard of New Girl? With Zooey Deschanel?
I heard of it. I never watched it.
It's kind of like New Girl with Big Bang with like nerds, right?
It's a sitcom, right? I think I've seen commercials for it, but
yeah,
I never...
they're all sitcoms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dpayne's allergic to laugh tracks.
I love a good laugh track.
I just have a hard time watching almost anything. So,
That's valid.
I've been trying to tell myself, once again to date when they're recording, to force myself to go out to the movie theaters to watch Godzilla -0 or -1.
Ooh.
I have heard good reviews.
Yeah,
I have those too.
I am a sucker for a giant robot, monster, anything. I heard this even getting a sequel, and so it's pretty much when I'm off from work next week. I was supposed to be off from work this week, but
Oh,
work be busy. So,
pain.
but yeah, I'm like, I am going to go and watch this movie in the middle of the day when
There
no
won't
one
be
else
anybody there.
there won't be
Yeah.
anybody there, so I don't have to deal with anybody, and I know
And you might get matinee prices too.
Yeah. I am betting that I'm going to go there with the intent of being alone, and there's going to be somebody there.
Yeah, because schools are off for Christmas break.
They
that's
shouldn't.
true.
They should go back.
Look, just get yourself some popcorn and just enjoy that and ignore the children around you.
Hmm. Well, I was also thinking of doing a double whammy and watching, was it The Boy and Heron or The Heron and the Boy?
Oh, the Ghibli.
Yeah. And so
Isn't that supposed to be his last film?
he says that every film.
Yeah, that's true. But he's 82 now.
Yeah, I think it's sad looking at it, but I can't help but laugh every time when people compare him and Ito, where it's Ghibli makes all of these like
Wholesome.
beautiful, wholesome things, and then you interview him, and he's like, "Life is terrible. This is the worst thing." He's just super like he just vomits all his happiness and joy into his film to where he's just, yeah, life is terrible. And then
so stressed out.
and then you go to Ito, who does the same thing but just with everything terrible and horrible and
Yeah, he
horror
processes
inducing.
all his negative energy into his work.
Yeah, to where he's just like, people go and see him and he's just like this soft, happy little man that's just, yeah. And,
yeah, I know. I can see on your shelf you've got 2 of his works at least
Yeah.
that I can read right now.
yeah, Uzumaki and Gio, or Gio, I don't know how to pronounce it. Next to Invincible.
I do like horror manga a lot.
That one you can take your time with, so that's a little bit easier to work through than like a movie where the movie's like, I decide where we're going. I decide the pacing.
Yeah, and also like a drawn, that kind of style is like not as scary to me. It's just like disturbing, like looking at like photoshopped fingers that have holes in them, but it's not like.
So are you the kind of person that's like affected more by the soundtrack or by jump scares?
I think it's a control issue, and then also
Oh,
the
okay.
jump scares. I'm like, I can just close the book if I want to.
Right?
Yeah,
To be
because I
fair-
have friends that
Okay.
are like, the soundtrack really like, if the soundtrack tells them they should be scared, then like, they feel it.
Oh yeah, I think that's valid. Yeah, like especially or like if there's a certain camera angle, then I know something's about to happen. You know, like whenever someone gets in the car and it's like a really close in shot and doesn't show the back seat or anything, you're like, all right, something's about to happen to him. Like in Life After Beth, like it's right before Beth jumps over, like and then he gets run over by the car.
And everyone's like, oh my
Ridiculous.
god, we have to help her. And
And
she's
he-
just like, rah.
And he's like, oh my gosh, come to let me eat in peace.
I know. And then he like backs up the car and everyone's like, oh no, don't do that.
Yeah,
he's
and everyone's
"She's
like,
fine."
what the heck?
And like no one questions it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like her neck was run over.
Yeah, man, there's parts in that movie where the dad and mom were like, you gotta be discreet, you can't let anybody know. And then, like, as we said, they go to the first park in the middle of suburbia to just do what they did.
Do
To-
2-person push-ups.
Yeah.
I just heard that term recently.
What do I say when Oh, when my neighbors, when I can hear them, I'm like, they're just practicing their bonding techniques. But so yeah, they do that, and then it's constantly her just being in public while the dad's like, stop bringing her out in public. We can't let people know. And then she just leaves. It's like I thought you were trying to keep her there. What happened? He's just like, this will be funny.
I also feel like one of the reasons I didn't like the movie as much as I could have is that like John Riley's character Mari is like really like has a lot of depth to him, and then like in contrast, like the protagonist is always just like worried. Like that's just like his default mood is like, I am worried about something, and then he makes like moves that are just not very smart.
Yeah, I'd say for the most part, a lot of the characters are pretty much like one-dimensional, because Beth is supposed to be, right? Because that's her shtick essentially. But yeah, like the brother is a gun lover. The parents are just like, I doubt everything you do. Like, I guess, yeah, they feel more like stereotypes than people. Zach's the worrywart. Moore's a different kind of worrywart, but also just a bad guy too.
Yeah, and then they just like, and then at the end, Zach's like, I know you sexually harassed your maid, but here's a chess piece to remember you by. Okay, where's the rest of the chessboard? Did you donate it? No, someone has to buy a chessboard at a thrift shop, and they're gonna be missing a horse.
Oh god, I'd be so upset.
I think in the Wikipedia they have on the Rotten Tomato thing, there's a review where it says the consensus is, in spite of Aubrey Plaza's committed performance, Life After Beth remains a sketch-worthy idea that has been uncomfortably stretched into a feature length.
Ooh.
That is harsh,
Ouch.
but I can see it.
Yeah,
because like valid. Yeah, we said there were good bits, but that they are just kind of like they feel thrown together.
Yeah, it has the same energy as like, do you remember that one? I don't even know if it was SNL skit, but it's like, I think it might be SNL. I don't know, but it's like this guy comes into the room and he like shoots someone, and then the next guy comes into the room that's his clone and shoots some like himself, and then like it keeps on going.
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh. Now that I think about it, that's a very obscure look.
Yeah. So, even now, people were having the same thoughts we did.
Yeah. So I guess, how much time do we have left on our timer?
We kind of been done. We haven't really stopped. It's been done for probably like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes or so.
Okay, so we're not too over.
Yeah. We went and started talking about horror books and everything, and I didn't be like, well, the time stopped. It's like, let's have the conversation flow.
That's fair. So then I guess my question that I've had at the end of these movies, would you recommend this movie to other people? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I think it depends on the context of it. I think this, if you're just looking for a very, like, you don't have to pay attention, you're with a group of people that are just, not either background noise, or you just want to kind of just make fun of something, or just have fun, like laughing and poking things out together, I think it could be good with that. If you're trying to get, like, I don't know, on single use, unless you really like comedy with a touch of romance, then, which I don't know if it would really fit the things of romance, but yeah, it's I probably wouldn't suggest it unless it was like a bunch, as I said, like a group of people that are just like a party movie.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, where you've just got a group of people and you're like, oh, that's a weird scene, but you're not really like watching it. I was thinking it could also probably be good as an airplane movie, because if you fell asleep and then you woke up, you wouldn't miss anything.
It's good to show toddlers, I think.
Yeah, perfect. Was it you, Itisdpayne, that's also in watching The Boys on a plane?
Yes. They're right next to me, and out of the corner of my eye, I just see a dude run up a penis. And I'm like, what is going on? And then it explodes. I'm like, what is happening next to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only watched, I think, 3 episodes of The Boys.
It's a lot.
2, I think I watched the first, no, I think it was 5 altogether. 2 of them I watched on my own, and then I watched 3 episodes out of the corner of my eye next to somebody on an airplane. So I saw
I watched
this.
the first season. That's all I could take.
Yeah.
I did watch all of them. I'm curious how it ends up going. Only because, like, I'm not big into Marvel, so this is my little, like, oh, if I feel like watching superheroes, I'll watch the corrupt ones. I'll watch the baddies.
Yeah, at least, like, it's something different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's done very well. I don't know.
Oh, I
couldn't
do.
get
Okay.
into-
I do know the sketch. I just needed to see Andy Samberg to recognize it.
I put it in the Zuby chat.
I forgot
Yes.
I had sound coming out of my speaker, so apologies on that one.
I did not hear.
Yeah.
It might come through in the Audacity, but
Oh,
I will watch this later.
excellent.
But Kathy, how about you? How would you recommend, not recommend, recommend
Kind
with caveats?
I don't think I would recommend it. Because, like, I'm just trying to imagine, like, me telling my friend to watch this movie and then them watching it and then them texting me, like, what was the point of making me watch this?
yeah, I think that's a fair way to look at it, because, like, when it gets to the ending, you're kind of like, oh, it's done now, I guess. And I guess, yeah, the other thing about it is, like, oh, I had a thought and I lost it. Oh, now I remember. If you wanted to watch a movie like this, there's like 2 or 3 other movies I can think of that are like, if you wanted to watch this, you could watch this instead.
Yeah.
Go.
Like, if you
Because it's...
Tell us right now.
if you want to watch Funny Zombies, Shaun of the Dead, if you want to watch tragic love stories, there's a million of those. I guess specifically
Oppenheimer, tragic love story. It just blows up in everyone's face at the end.
If you just want a general romantic comedy, there's a whole bunch of those that are much like
Atlantis.
yes, that's a romantic comedy.
There's
Sure.
romance and there's funnies.
I feel like, yeah, what I kept on thinking about while I was watching this movie was iZombie, which is like the TV show. It's like a procedural, but the protagonist just happens to be a zombie, but she's an ethical zombie. So she like works at the morgue and eats like brains of people who are already dead, and then she like gets their memories, and then like she solves the mystery. But like there's a lot of like oh my god, I can't tell my boyfriend about this because I love him so much, and like something like that just like adds a lot more depth than this, and it's
Yeah.
not funny enough to like not have depth. Have depth.
Yeah, but yeah, like for iZombie, that sounds like it has like stakes. I don't think there were any stakes in this movie.
Yeah.
Just at the very end where it's like, oh, I could die now. But I was like, but that doesn't have anything to do with the premise that you introduced in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I keep thinking of alternate endings. Like, what if, like, she was, like, lurching over him, trying to eat him, and he was, like, forced to leave her. Or something.
Something dramatic.
Something more exciting than just, like,
Yeah.
we're going on your hike, babe! With the stove strapped to your back.
Yeah, I think if like the stove strapped to the back of Beth during that whole thing was just haha, it's funny, right? And it's like, I guess. But because I could definitely see if this movie was different, they both die at that end.
That
But
could have
that's
been very good.
but I don't think if they did that, the payoff wouldn't be like the way that whole movie went, and then if that was the ending, I don't think the payoff for that ending would have been as it wouldn't have felt deserved. It would just been like, so nobody learned anything.
Yeah, or what if the entire movie I was expecting him to turn into a zombie so they could be together forever. Like, that was, like, what I was expecting the whole time. And that would have been like, like, it's a happy ending, get it? Because it's a zom-com. But, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's it's, I don't know. I also say, like, oh, man, it'd be interesting if there's this whole movie, but, or, like, if there's an alternate ending, but it's, I don't know. I think with with this movie, the way it's written, you would have to change certain things in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially when it starts getting to, like, the climax of, oh, there's a bunch of zombies and they're all super chill but very hungry.
Yeah, and did not want to eat Dane. Or Zach.
Yeah, because he's passed out in the motel thing, wakes up to a zombie just looking at him.
Yeah.
It's like,
he's like, oh, okay.
He's got plot armor. What are you gonna do?
true. Agreed.
All right. One last thing about the brother that I just described. The brother, he was just. I wish he was the main character and we just had the same story, but when he's talking with Zach and he's just, dude, I had to kill people. It was terrible. And he's having like this emotional breakdown, and then it's just the old lady, excuse me. No pause, nothing, just
pure
boom.
Reaction.
Just I don't even think he looks. I think he just like headshots and he's just like, I feel terrible.
That wasn't a zombie.
And he's like, yeah, and Zach's like, and he's like, and he doesn't stop, and it's just he just keeps monologuing about how terrible it's been and how we have to stick together, and he wants to forgive him. And that's when Beth comes out and he's like, I gotta shoot her. It's just,
he's the best character for sure.
Yeah.
He seems the one that is the most well, like, had more thought put into him.
Yeah.
It's interesting because, like, before we recorded this, we told Kathy that we are recording Hereditary tomorrow. And one of the things that's in there, I'll bring it up tomorrow because watching on Amazon, they had the X-ray, and so which gives you like little facts and bits and trivia stuff. It turns out that the guy for all the main all the characters who have like a substantial role, he wrote full backstories for them, and just so all those characters had like their whole life written out, and when he gave it to them, they knew they could read that and learn everything up to the point of the movie of what they did and what went through. And it's just
really good.
Yeah, and it shows just the depth of those characters.
And I think I paused at one point because I also watched it on Amazon and said the director recognizes Toni Collette as one of the most prepared actresses he's like worked with. So that makes sense with that story.
She didn't want to be in that movie though. She was very hesitant. She didn't want to do horror because of she's just not a fan of it. Like, she's done horror adjacent things that like it's horror but funny, and then it's just funny how she didn't want to do horror, and it's I can't
imagine another actress doing it.
Yeah, like
Y'all have me interested.
Yeah. I will say Hereditary doesn't have a lot of jump scares. There are a couple near the end if you wanted to watch it, and probably in quadruple speed. There are it is a very slow burn movie until like the last 30 minutes, and then it's just like, oh my gosh. It just goes
big reveal after big reveal.
Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, can I breathe? And then it's like it ends and you're just like, I don't feel good about this ending either.
I know, like, Life After Beth has a vague ending and you're kind of like, okay, but like Hereditary has a vague ending and you're like, oh no.
It's like,
oh no.
It's like, this gives me all this is not okay. So it's
I'll go read the Wikipedia synopsis.
Yes, it is, I think, one of the best horror movies that has come out recently. But if you're it's funny because like what you were saying is like, yeah, certain camera angles it's like, oh no, there's gonna be a jump scare, and they do those camera angles and there's no jump scare. You're just like,
so you're just scared because you're scared?
Well, yes, and the music also, like, that's another...
The movie wants to disorient
you. Yeah, it plays on expectations in ways that you are not expecting. It is a very well done movie.
Yeah, but before we jump into
do
all of
another
this,
movie thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I should probably skedaddle.
Yes.
For the listener,
late.
well, I was gonna say it is late, but yeah, for viewers, my one rabbit is very sick. So
Yeah,
my
I was about to
boyfriend-
close it now, and
Yeah,
right now.
my boyfriend takes the little shift while I do these podcast episodes until she feels better. But then he also takes like the overnight shift for me. So
Yes. So, yeah. Once again, Kathy, thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully, we can get you on again where it isn't like a year and a half to 2 years in between.
Of course.
unfortunately, this series is running a while.
Yes. So, but there's that. Yeah, and we'll have, if you guys want to check out Kathy's stuff, we'll have links below. Trying to think if there's anything else. Nothing that would spawn another probably 15-minute conversation. So I'll just say next week we are doing The Witch. Just keeping that horror stuff going because A24 has a lot of them. Yep. So we're doing that. And yeah, wherever you're watching this, if it's on an audio format or on YouTube, do the likey, share, comment, whatever. I don't remember everything you can do. It's late.
Lots of things.
Yeah, so everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy Easter and Good Fridays, and I don't know what else is.
And hope you had a great
Yeah.
Lent season. Woo, just round it all out.
Yeah. Happy 4th of July if that's when you're watching this, if it's close to then.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. And before Hop berates me in DMs, thank you everyone, and we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.